following dignitaries to the dais: His Excellency Dr. Manoj Nadev Singh, Secretary General, ADO; Her Excellency Datuk Haja Rubia Binti Haji Wong, Deputy Minister for Rural and Regional Development, Government of Malaysia, and Honorable Vice President of ADO from Asia; and His Excellency Mr. Kamal Galal, Ambassador of Arab Republic of Egypt to India, and the Honorable Vice President of ADO from Africa. A very good morning to everyone. The African Nation Rural Development Organization extends a very warm welcome to all to the 21st General Session of ADO Conference. We shall start with this important occasion with everyone joining in for the national anthem. I request everyone to please rise as we play the national anthem of India.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Request everyone to please be seated. To express our deepest appreciation, we will now proceed with felicitation of the Honorable Vice President of India, for which I invite His Excellency Dr. Manoj Nadev Singh, Secretary General, ADO, to please present the token of honor, a flower bouquet and a memento. ये है ना चंद्रशेखर कमसानी, मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट फॉर रूरल एंड डेवलपमेंट कम्युनिकेशन.
वेलकम स्पीच करा देना, ठीक है.
Joining the Honorable Chief Guest on the stage is Dr. Chandrasekhar Pemasamy, Minister of State for Rural Development and Communication, Government of Republic of India. And I invite His Excellency Dr. Manoj Nadev Singh once again to please present the token of honor to Mr. Chandrasekhar Pemasamy. Requesting the hostesses to please bring the token of honor. May I once again request His Excellency Dr. Manoj Nadev Singh, Secretary General, ADO, to please present a flower bouquet to Her Excellency Datuk Haja Rubia Binti Haji Wang, Deputy Minister for Rural and Regional Development, Government of Malaysia, and the Honorable Vice President of ADO from Asia. requesting His Excellency once again to please present a bouquet of flowers to His Excellency Mr. Kamal Gilal, Ambassador of the Arab Republic of Egypt to India and the Honorable Vice President of ARDO from Africa. Thank you. To formally commence today's proceedings, I now invite His Excellency Dr. Manoj Nadir Singh, Secretary General of ARDO, to please deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Madam. Honorable Chief Guest, His Excellency Sri Jagdeep Dhankhar, Vice President of Republic of India, our Honorable Minister of State of Rural Development, Dr. Chandrasekhar Pamanasi, Honorable President of ARDO, who is represented by the Acting High Commissioner, the Honorable Vice President of ARDO from Africa, our Head of Delegation from the Arab Republic of Egypt, also Vice President of ARDO from Africa, His Excellency Mr. Kamal Gilal, Ambassador of Egypt to India, Honorable Vice President of ARDO from Asia, distinguished Head of Delegation of Malaysia, Her Excellency Mrs. Rubia Binti Wang, Deputy Minister Rural and Regional Development of Malaysia, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, heads of delegations, distinguished observers, members of diplomatic corps, my ASG and senior officers, representatives of media, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. On behalf of ARDO and on behalf of all the distinguished delegates, I solemnly extend a sincere thanks and gratitude to the Honorable Chief Guest, His Excellency Sri Jagdeep Dhankhar, Vice President of Republic of India, for having kindly agreed to inaugurate the 21st session of the ARDO conference. We are really very ecstatic and delighted to extend to you all a very warm welcome to this inaugural function. I express also sincere thanks to His Excellency, the High Commissioner of Ghana, Acting High Commissioner representing the President of ARDO, our Vice President from Africa and Asia, and special greetings to the galaxy I see in front here of the dais of secretaries, DGs, policymakers, researchers, officers, representatives of ministries, our partner institutions, and respected collaborators of ARDO. Honorable Chief Guests, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Delegates, we all know that on the one hand nowadays what we are presently discussing at international level, at summit level, we are reflecting on machine learning, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and so on. But on the other hand, there is what we call now the 2030 deadline approaching, and it's approaching very fast. Time is ticking really fast. We are just 5 years away from that deadline. Scorecards are unfortunately alarmingly or disturbingly red in many countries, especially in many African and Asian countries. Instead of leaving no one behind, as promised by the SDG, we may be leaving the SDGs themselves behind. As pointed out by the UN Secretary General, only 17% of SDGs display sufficient progress, and many member countries are off track or derail from these targets. We've got also the latest report for the UN on world economic situation and prospects, which shows that global growth will remain subdued. There are lots of lingering uncertainties, no clarity. New trade narratives being pitched nowadays may reshuffle supply chains. With such blurry scenarios, we direly need game-changing policies, institutions, and technologies to tackle the mammoth challenges, the quagmires, especially for the less privileged people in our rural areas in many member countries. They are all facing the headwinds. They are battering rocky recovery with uphill tasks. Many of them are in the business of reconstruction and sustaining what we call inclusive and sustainable development. Collectively, we do have the capacity and we have also the obligations to share available means and technological solutions to urgently tackle all the miseries which are aberrantly stripping humanity in many of our member countries. Honorable Chief Guests, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, considering the scary narratives and changing dynamics, ADO has been galvanizing efforts in rural development. We are also brokering intergovernmental partnership and leveraging on academia and other partners to reclaim and maintain the centrality of rural development in economies of Africa and Asia. ADO's programs and activities are of paramount importance to support member countries in achieving overall prosperity, food security, economic stability, environmental sustainability. Important tools and technological solutions are now fully imbibed in our programs. We want to turbocharge SDGs in our member countries. We've also got maybe not full solutions, but partial solutions to all the challenges, the contemporary one and even the impending one of our member countries. We recently expanded to 35 members, and we are looking for more members. Having the observer status in UN organizations, we are collaborating with many international and regional bodies, also operating 6 regional offices in Africa and Asia. Honorable Chief Guests, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, this ministerial level conference is an opportune moment for us to reflect on remarkable progress ADO has made over the past triennium to grow in a leading network dedicated to rural development. And this has been done with the collective efforts of member governments, centers of excellence, and ADO partners. With visionary ministers and head of delegations, in true spirit of cooperation, we will inter alia analyze ADO's program, the technical program for the next 3 years, starting from 2025 itself to 2027, and obviously all the provisions which are required. Having accumulated over 6 decades of experience in improving rural livelihoods, ADO has also conveniently, we can also aver that transforming rural areas has to focus also on agricultural development. We are advising member countries to accentuate the agricultural sectors through appropriate policies, enhanced research, development of agro-SMEs, institutional network, and collectivization for value chain and market access. ADO courses and programs have emphasized the pressing needs for innovation in our agriculture sector and overall rural development sector. As we always highlight in forum, many contemporary problems can be easily tackled by innovations, technologies being transferred in our programs. We are looking forward for climatic resilience, conservative practices also to be transferred from member country to member countries. In short, ADO is diligently answering to the cry of the day by stepping up, speeding up, and scaling up the transfer of practical and affordable solutions in the countries. It is being transformed in what we usually referred as that knowledge and technology hub with enhanced program in swift transfer of technologies. Honorable Chief Guests, Honorable Ministers, I further wish that we will be elaborating in our conference over the next 2-3 days, 4 days. We will be discussing how we can more focus on technologies. We are putting emphasis on technologies like drone technology, AI, solar energy, health, irrigation, nanotechnologies, genetics, and biotechnology. With these few words, again, it's a great pleasure to have the Honorable Vice President of India, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Vice President of ADU from Africa and Asia, and all our distinguished Honorable Ministers from member countries and our partners. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. This is to inform that the Honorable President of ADU is on his way for joining us in the conference, but unfortunately cannot join us for the inaugural session. Next, may I respectfully invite His Excellency Shri Jagdeep Dhankhar, Honorable Vice President of India, to the podium to share his insights and wisdom with us.
Nothing can be more delightful for me to welcome you all on an Thank you. Thank you so much. Hand holding is so important and it yields results immediately. Very warm good morning to all of you. Being son of a farmer, nothing could be more dear to my heart than what has been spoken by Dr. Manoj. Dr. Chandrasekhar Pemasani, Honorable Minister, as Chairman Rajya Sabha, I have seen him in action. He brings on the table modernity, great exposure, and deep commitment. What I normally avoid, that is complimenting someone from my chair, I made an exception in his case twice. So his presence as a member of the Union Ministry of a nation that is 1.4 billion and home to 1/6 of humanity is very significant. The Honorable Agriculture Minister Shivraj Chauhan is very passionate about the cause of ADU. He is in mission mode. And when he discussed with me, well, he enthused even the son of the farmer and made me aware of the great import and relevance of this convergence and congregation. Sri Ahmed Ibrahim, President ADU, Sri Kamal Glal, Vice President ADU from Asia, Srimati Rubia Binti Wang, Vice President of ADU from Asia, Excellencies, heads of delegations, observers. I find it very delightful when we have more vice. I am a vice president and I have taken name of already 2 vice presidents. Before I start, let me take note of the dais. We are 5 with only 1 woman being there. And let me therefore tell you, gender participation in governance is fundamental to bring about equality. Gender participation is fundamental to cut into inequities. India is perhaps the only country in the world that has constitutionally structured participation of women in governance at the village level to the extent of 1/3, at the municipal level to the extent of 1/3 minimum. And recently, I had the good fortune to preside over Rajya Sabha, the upper house, when for the Parliament, Lok Sabha, and state legislatures, a reservation has been carved out for women to the extent of 1/3. That's a historical, epochal development. is going to be game changer for the theme which is very dear to all of you. The second situation I seek to share with you, and I do it because I got into Indian Parliament for the first time in 1989, 35 years ago. Had the good fortune to be a minister of this country, like Dr. Chandrasekhar Pemasani. I was as young as he is. The scene then and the scene now, for me, beyond belief, beyond dreams, beyond contemplation. In a country of 1.4 billion people, now we have in every household a toilet. In every household, electric connection. In every household, a cooking gas connection. In every household, piped water is on way. Every household has internet connection. Every house is connected with road. There is close by a health center that doesn't tax your pocket. And there is school education around. If I put it in a situation which can make anyone understand, when during COVID we worked from home, working from the village was far more convenient because of digital connectivity. Massive transformative steps are taken only through two aspects. One, education. And this country has enormously benefited by education being transformed. And second, empowering the people. Let me give you some indication. When it comes to internet usage per capita, we are more than that of USA and China taken together. When it comes to formalization of economy or digital transfer, direct transfers as we call it, we account for more than 50% of the global community. And when it comes to giving statistics, hold your breath. We are 4 times the combined transactions of USA, UK, France and Germany. Our economic rise, economic upsurge has been phenomenal. Our economy a decade ago was in double digits on a global benchmark. Now we are 5th in the world, on way to becoming 3rd in 2 years. The nation is set for a target of a developed nation by 2047, which is no longer a dream. If I look around the accolades we have got from world institutions, and I know how they behaved, and how now they behave with some countries, how they bail out some countries, you know that more than I do, excellencies. I know how they behaved with us in the 90s when I was a minister. A gold of this country was shipped by air to be placed to 2 banks in Switzerland to sustain our fiscal credibility, because our foreign exchange then was around $1 billion. Now it's 700 billion US dollars. That jump. India, therefore, is an example in the world. What is the good soothing impact of rural development, of village development, of empowerment of the rural people? And therefore, I take this convergence as a significant milestone. This brainstorming of next 2-3 days will be a game changer, because world stability is to be defined by growth of the rural sector, growth of the farm sector, growth of the cooperative sector. Let me share it with you, excellencies and distinguished audience. India put in its constitution panchayat elections, municipal elections, and cooperatives. So this is constitutionally fortified, which means it is spinally embedded in our culture. If I look around, there are lakhs of women elected at the village level and municipal level. They are heading governance units at the village, at the district level. Right now, as indicated, the world is facing challenges. And challenges are in the shape of existence. Existential challenges. I am going beyond climate change. Climate change is a menace created by us. Reckless exploitation of natural resources, of which we are not owners, we are trustees. We thought on the planet it is meant only for human beings, ignoring living beings. And there is awareness all around because we are cliff-hanging. But other challenges are hunger, destitution, poverty. So look at the two extremes. On one hand, we have disruptive technologies. At the other hand, we have the stark, naked reality of suffering and destitution. India offers a perfect example how to leverage technology to empower people, to mitigate their suffering, to cut into corruption, to generate transparency, to generate accountability. And that is why in this country, I'm sure you can have the figure 1.5 billion people. Unity in diversity, very varied. But what a seamless service connectivity, service delivery. There are no long queues for services now. Every person seems to be empowered to get benefit of technology, even if he or she has to receive some assistance. Let me give you a single illustration. 100 million farmers. Number is very large. Thrice a year, they get in their banks, in their bank accounts, government assistance directly. What is striking, ladies and gentlemen, is not that the government is equipped. What is really significant and game-changing is that my farmer sisters and brothers are duly enabled to get this assistance directly. India can be role model for the world because this has been indicated by the World Bank. The reflection by the World Bank was that the kind of technological penetration, deep digitization, availability of people-centric services to the people with ease, seamlessly, without corruption. India has attained it in 6 years, which otherwise, according to the World Bank, will take more than 4 decades. So this unprecedented assembly of ministers, secretaries, diplomats from other nations is a ray of hope. It's a beacon of light. I am full of optimism and confidence that this will be brought about. And I say so because this is taking place in India. We have had G20s and we are having still. But G20 in India was different. Prime Minister Modi focused on 2 aspects particularly. One was inclusion of the African Union in G20. I would want excellencies in particular to focus on the underlying spirit of it. European Union was already a member of G20. African Union should have been at the same time. And if we look around the historical perspective, African Union becoming a member of G20 is a belated act of justice, an act that brings about equality and makes us aware all nations in sovereignty are equal. Because this country and your country suffered compromise of sovereignty on reasons which we can't figure out. That's a fundamental situation, it is there. When it came to putting Global South on radar, most people were not aware what is Global South. Look at the far-sighted vision of Prime Minister Modi. In one stroke, he put it primarily on the radar. The world came to recognize the import of in G20 of Global South. He focused on supply chains, because when a supply chain is disturbed, people in commerce industry suffer. But ultimate suffering is of those who are in the rural area, who are in the agricultural field. So these defining moments of G20 speak about our age-old concept, which was encapsulated in our G20 motto. We have always taken the world to be a family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. One earth, one family, one future. That's the message which emanated from Delhi Declaration. I therefore have no doubt that steadfast commitment of this organization will go a long way in doing two things in particular. One, replicating success stories. Let us not put them on the backbench or back burner, as they say. Let us replicate. This country has enough to offer by governmental agencies and by private agencies to contribute to the welfare excellencies of your countries. And if you look around on a global demographic landscape, our rural regions nurture 3.6 billion lives, including 894 million rural Indians, representing both our responsibility and opportunity. Now, a challenge to our intellect is in the shape of emergence of disruptive technologies. I call it onslaught of disruptive technologies. Artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, machine learning, blockchain, and the kind. Paradigm shift every moment. No less than industrial revolution. They offer daunting challenges, but they bring also a basket of opportunities. Only if we learn to unleash them. And if we can unleash these energies, disruptive technologies, for greater good of rural India and farm sector, and of the entire world, humanity will be a safer place. India has taken some flagship initiatives, and one initiative is Digital India. Ladies and gentlemen, it was very difficult to put that fiber line in every village, remote areas. Now it is virtually 100%. India is now digital. Jal Jeevan Mission, a staggering aspect that potable water should be available in every home. It's ongoing. The National Livelihood Mission, empowering the person to empower himself or herself. There's a great scheme, let me tell you, which has transformed rural women's lives, because they are more than 50% beneficiaries. Mudra scheme. You find employment for yourself and employment for someone else also. And when half of the humanity participates in developmental activity, results are never arithmetic, they are geometric. Our scale is very large. For some it is very scary. But a great idea occurred to the Prime Minister, and the idea was people should have affordable housing. So he made available houses to those who really need it. 26.8 million permanent homes to rural citizens. But therein he focused on one aspect which was innovative, novel, and highly impactful. In large number of cases, majorly, ownership was given to women. They got a sense of ownership. They got a sense of pride. And that is why we are living in a country, ladies and gentlemen, where women participation in startups is increasing. They have broken all ceilings. They are now in combat positions in our armed forces. They constitute 40%, more than that, of our National Cadet Corps. Rural people suffered hazards of nature, inclement weather. And inclement weather is a destroyer sometimes of all dreams. But this is a country, ladies and gentlemen, where government policies have insulated the farmer from such kind of weather disturbances, disruptions by crop insurance. One thing that drives economy is infrastructural growth. Those of you who have been in this country a decade ago and now will feel the difference. We have world-class highways. Air connectivity has gone manifold. Our railway system is one of the most modern. We have a metro rail mechanism which is unparalleled now. Right now we happen to be, I think, third in the world. But the way we are going, we are aiming for benchmark number one, because that is what our civilization demands, that is what our past ordains, and that is our demographic right also. Ladies and gentlemen, this transformation must be a global transformation. We cannot have oasis of development when it comes to rural development, farmer development. The world will be a very safe place. There will be greater harmony, greater productivity, greater happiness if rural sector blossoms all over. And that can happen when there is optimal exploitation of the talent of rural families. I urge in this country, and I urge for the global community also, the rural communities must step out beyond agriculture produce. They must engage in agriculture produce marketing, value addition, focus on daring, and we know the results are bound to be very, very positive. The foundation of sustainable development is with bricks that are available only in rural sector. Only those bricks can give firm foundations to the edifice of sustainable development. And sustainable development, ladies and gentlemen, is no longer an option. It is the only way out. ARDO has a very bold vision. And I'm sure deliberations over the next 2 days, 2-3 days will be beyond surface scratching. They will be result-oriented. I am sure plans will be unfolded for execution in a timeline. I am sure there will be evaluation of the decisions taken here on the point of execution thereof. And I am sure all care and caution will be taken to ensure that our vision, our message echoes across continents. Rural development is the cornerstone of global sustainability and human dignity, intrinsically linked in our country to Viksit Bharat. I emphasized on more than one occasion. Road to development, road to progress, road to happiness, road to transformation goes through our farms, goes through our villages. And let us therefore resolve. Together we shall forge ahead until every rural citizen is empowered, every village thrives, and rural-urban boundaries cease to exist. I conclude with one thought. In ancient India, a village was self-serving unit. A cluster of villages were very prosperous on every need of the society. This dream, with your participation, with your efforts, will no longer be a dream. It will be a ground realization, a ground reality. I am indeed grateful to Honorable Shivraj Singh Chauhan, a man who has been Chief Minister of a state for 1.5 decades, and along with Chandrasekhar is handling a very powerful ministry to bring about this transformation. This will happen in India because we have nearly achieved it, and I have no doubt there must be cooperation, convergence, give and take, so that we all work on the same page for the same mission, so that we all are in the same boat, and the boat that is envy of everyone in the urban world. The divide has to end. The line has to be decimated. It has to be reversed. Urbanization must lead the reverse way by people flocking to villages for habitation. Ladies and gentlemen, I am grateful for your gracious patience and the time you have given. Thank you so much.
President, for the enriching insights. As a token of deep gratitude and appreciation, we would like to present a memento to the Honorable Vice President, for which I request Dr. Chandrasekhar Pemasani, Minister of State for Rural Development and Communication, Government of Republic of India, to kindly do the honors on behalf of ADO. Thank you, sir. I request all the distinguished delegates to please rise again as we play the national anthem of ADO for closing the ceremony.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Distinguished